Atlantic Broadband Cable, in cooperation with the South Union Township Supervisors, presents the South Union Township Sports Network. Today, from Tom Lamon Field at Laurel Highlands High School, the Uniontown American Legion team will be taking on the Charleroi American Legion team. Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Hanola with Jerry Dupay, and we welcome you aboard for this evening's game. The South Union Township Sports Network coverage is brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and CUTV with Gary Smith. I'm Tony Hanola with Jerry Dupay, and we will be back with the first pitch right after these messages. The South Union Township Sports Network is brought to you by the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and agent David Hughes, United Bank, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor, Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown, Zebly Mahalovan White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys, and State Farm Agent Lauren Yeoman, who is at 37 West Main Street, Uniontown, and you can get in touch with her by calling 724-592-6308. Let's go over the starting lineups for both teams. Offensively for Charleroi, who will be leading off here today, their first batter will be Keaton Riley, center fielder. Batting second will be left fielder Andrew Mackey. Batting third will be third baseman Chad Barrett. Batting cleanup will be shortstop Gianni Cantina. Batting fifth will be first baseman Remington Lessman. Batting sixth, catcher Hunter Mamie. Batting seventh will be second baseman Joey Van Scharen. Batting eighth will be the starting pitcher today, Lorenzo Glasser. And batting ninth will be Colton Polander, the extra hitter. Batting for right fielder Ashton Ray. Defensively for Uniontown, we'll go around the infield. It'll be Cole Shearer at third, Tyler Sankovic at short. Second baseman will be Santino Mera. Playing first today will be Alex McLean. Outfield left to right will be Caleb Scott in left, Braden McKnight in center, and Tyler Becker playing right field. Behind the dish today for Uniontown will be Brant Bonadillo, and on the mound getting his second start of the year will be Braden O'Brien. O'Brien 1-0 after Uniontown defeated Waynesburg last Wednesday 12-2 with Braden getting the win. So the first pitch to Riley is a strike. Beautiful day for baseball here today, and we're going to see a good one. There's a second pitch. It's going to be popped up. Drifting over is going to be Tyler Becker in right, and Becker makes a catch to retire Keaton Riley. So one out, and that brings up Andrew McKay, the starting left fielder. McKay will be followed by Chad Barrett. And O'Brien made quick work of Riley. Got him out on two pitches. So now here's the first pitch to Mackey. Ball just a bit outside. Charleroi coming off a 3-2 10-inning loss to Bell Vernon on Friday night. Uniontown coming in having only played the one game because of their late run, the Laurel Highlands late run in the WPIL playoffs. O'Brien now behind in the count, 2-0 to Mackey. Here's the pitch. Swings and fouls it back. Count now at 2-1. As we said, O'Brien, a complete game victory, only gave up 2 runs to Waynesburg last Wednesday night. Also had a couple hits and drove in a few runs. And there's a shot right up the middle. So Mackey, with the first hit of the day, he singles. And that's going to bring up third baseman Chad Barrett. So Mackey at first, he'll be held on here by Alex McLean. Barrett to be followed by Cantini. There's O'Brien. Curveball. Catches the corner for a strike. So O'Brien ahead in the count, 0-1 to Chad Barrett. Mackey with about a 3-step lead, maybe 4. There's a throw over. Nice play by McLean. Mackey gets back safely. Mackey with a big knee brace on his left knee. Still showed some speed on that single, though. Here's a pitch from O'Brien. It's going to be a dribbler. Going to be a play by Mara. Mara, the only play is at first, but he's able to retire Barrett 4-3. Mackey advances to second on a dribbler to Mara, and now there's going to be 2 outs. That's going to bring up Gianni Cantini, today the starting shortstop for Charleroi. Charleroi coming back into Legion play after being out for around 7 years. Decided to get back in this now 10-team league. There's a breaking pitch called for a strike. So Bryan starts Cantini off with a nice breaking pitch. 2 down, Mackey in scoring position for Charleroi. And here's the 0-1 pitch to Cantini. Takes it on the outside corner for strike 2. So 2 off-speed breaking pitches in a row from O'Brien to Cantini, and he's ahead in the count now, 0-2. 2 down, we're in the top of the first inning. O'Brien checks the runner. There's the pitch. It's going to be fouled off. Nice play there by the first base coach. So Cantini staying alive with an 0-2 count. O'Brien set. Pitch just a bit high and inside. So the count now 1-2. Riley flew out to right fielder Tyler Becker to start the inning. Andrew Mackey singled up the middle. Chad Barrett was retired on a nice play by Santino Mera, 4-3. There's another foul back by Cantini. Count remains at 1-2. Waiting on deck is first baseman Remington Lessman. Infield straight away. Sankovic and Mara trying to keep Mackey close at second. And there's a pitch just missed on the inside corner. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes. I think O'Brien kind of wanted that pitch, and it looked pretty good from here. 2-2, 2 outs. There's a breaking pitch, and it's going to be sent up. No, nice play by Santino Mara. Mara took away a hit from Cantini, showed some great range, and able to retire Cantini for the third out of the inning. So in that inning, there were no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. After a half an inning of play, it's Charleroi nothing, and the Uniontown American Legion team coming to bat. South Union Township Sports Network is brought to you by the Sproul's Insurance Group in Uniontown and agent David Hughes, United Bank, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor, Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown, Zebley, Mahaloff & White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys, and State Farm Agent Lauren Yeoman at 37 West Main Street in Uniontown. She can be reached at 724-592-6308. So let's set the lineups for both teams. Charleroi in the top of the first inning, unable to score. And let's set their defense for them. Let's go around the horn. Third baseman will be Chad Barrett. The shortstop will be Gianni Cantini. Second baseman will be Joey Verscheren. First base will be Remington Lessman. The outfield, left to right, will be Andrew Mackey in left, Keaton Riley in center, and Ashton Ray in right. Behind the plate today will be Hunter Mamie, and on the mound will be Lorenzo Glasser for Charleroi. For the Uniontown Legion team, let's go through their batting order. Leading off will be second baseman Santino Mara. He'll be followed by shortstop Tyler Sankovic. Batting third will be third baseman Cole Shearer. Batting cleanup and catching today is Brant Bonadillo. Batting fifth, right fielder Tyler Becker. Batting sixth will be left fielder Caleb Scott. Batting seventh will be Alex McLean playing first today. Batting 8th will be the pitcher, Braden O'Brien, and batting 9th will be center fielder Braden McKnight. So he said Uniontown coming off a win last Wednesday night before all the rains came over the weekend. They beat Waynesburg 12-2. Charleroi with a tough 10-inning loss to Bell Vernon, losing that contest 3-2. So now here's Mara getting set to lead off. And Glasser on the mound for Charleroi. And as we said, Charleroi hadn't had a team in the Legion for about 7 years and decided to come back in, especially with all the young players they have on their high school team. They only had 3 seniors on their high school team this year, so Coach Mollis wanted to get them into action. Here's the first pitch to Mara. Ball outside. Coaching at first base today will be Mr. Joe Bonadillo. Coaching third will be Brad Yeoman, the manager. Here's Glasser's 1-0 pitch. Mara fouls it out of play over the press box. Count now evens up at 1-1. Mara, attending California, just completed his freshman year. There's a pitch. He's going to hit a dribbler, and it's going to fall in there to center field. So Santino Mara fought that pitch off well and leads off with a base hit for the Uniontown Legion team. So that's their first hit of the game. Now coming to bat will be Tyler Sankovic. Sank had a great year for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs in high school. Batted .385 for a Mustang team that went to the semifinals of the WPIL before losing them on tour. Here's Mara with about a 3-step lead, being held on there by Lessman. Glasser decides to throw over just to keep him tight, maybe even just to get his uniform dirty. Now a little bigger lead here by Mara, maybe about 5 or 6 steps, and he's going to go on the first pitch. And he's going to be safe. So Mara with the stolen base sets himself up in scoring position with no outs. Tyler Sankovic at bat. Mara started out there with about a 3-step lead. Saw the throw over by Glasser and then extended that out to about 5 or 6 and stole that base easily. So here's the pitch to Sankovic. No, they're going to fake Mara back. He dives back in without a play. Outfield straight away. Sankovic thought about bunting but pulled back and takes that pitch for a ball. Nobody out here. Uniontown with runners in scoring position. Glasser sets. Here's the pitch to Sank. He's going to try to bunt it. Nice play there by Coach Mollis. Didn't have to move off the bucket to make that catch. So Sankovic unable to get that bunt down. Not sure if he's just trying to sacrifice or actually trying to get a hit out of it. Mara showed pretty good speed there on that stolen base. And this is a team I can't imagine they're going to play a whole lot of small ball all year. They got some great hitters on this team. Sankovic fouls that one back. Can hear Coach Bonadillo giving instructions to Tyler. Tyler, as we said, only a sophomore for the Mustangs. He's got a couple years back. Mara being held there. Cantini trying to sneak in behind him. That pitch outside. So now the count 3-2, Jer?
Yeah.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here. We're in the bottom of the first inning. American Legion Region 6 action. Sankovic fouls another one off. So staying alive. They'll be looking for baseballs here left and right. Umpire taking a little breather. He needed a couple more baseballs. And we saw that the other night down at Hark for Uniontown's first game. A lot of pitches fouled back. Probably had to use about a dozen baseballs, which is unusual in Legion play. There's a pitch from Glasser, and that ball's going to be outside. So now the count's going to be full. Glasser trying to get the first out of the inning. Mara with a decent lead. There's a breaking pitch. Going to be trouble. Might fall in. And it does. It's going to stay fair. So Sankovic with the seeing eye single. Now they're going to call it a foul ball. I actually thought that ball was fair. Didn't see a call made. But the home plate umpire went out. Said the ball was just out of play. Almost a seeing eye single there for Sankovic. Glasser now trying to get the first out. There's a pitch to Sank, and the ball's hit right back to Glasser. Mara's going to advance to third on the play, but Sankovic is going to be retired 1-3. So now with one out, Santino Mara in scoring position. Coming to bat will be third baseman Cole Shearer. Due to the fact that Connersville did not have a Legion team this year, the Uniontown team actually acquired a couple players that would have normally been on the Connersville roster, Cole Shearer being one of them. And also the on-deck batter, Brant Bonadilla. It's the first pitch to Shearer, and it's a strike. Nice fastball there by Glasser to get ahead in the count, 0-1. One out. Uniontown with Mara at third. The number 3 batter, Cole Shearer at the plate. Glasser working from the stretch. And again, fastball. Gets it past Shearer. And so now he's behind in the count, 0-2. And Glasser trying to work out of a jam after giving up a leadoff single in the bottom of the first inning to Santino Mara. Here's Glasser's 0-2 pitch. And nice shot there by Shearer down to first. Nice play by Lessman, but knocks it down, but unable to get the out. So Shearer able to take that outside pitch the other way, and we're going to have to give him an infield single. Beautiful try there by Lessman, but he was unable to make the play. And Shearer's going to pick up an RBI as Santino Mara scores the first run of the game. So now Uniontown with a 1-0 lead. And that's going to bring up cleanup hitter, catcher Brant Bonadillo. So nice job by Shearer on that 0-2 pitch. Took it the other way. There's a ball fouled back. Lessman made a diving attempt, but just couldn't get to it. It was a shot. Lessman tried to keep it in front of him, which he did, but just couldn't make the throw. It was a tough play. And Shearer with the second hit of the game for the Uniontown Legion team. So here's Brant Bonadillo waiting on deck as right fielder Tyler Becker for Uniontown. Here's Glasser now with one out. Breaking pitch just a little high. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out and 1 run in for Uniontown after holding Charleroi scoreless in the top of the first. There's a throw over to Shearer. Almost caught him sleeping. Lessman holding him on. Shearer looked like he might have been leaning there a little bit. And a big lead. Probably about a 4-step lead for Shearer. Glasser hits Bonadillo. So Bonadillo takes one for the team. He's going to head down to first. We're going to have a courtesy runner coming in. Shearer advances to second. And now the courtesy runner for Uniontown will be C.J. Gesk. Shearer at second, Gesk at first. One out. And Tyler Becker, the St. Vincent ball player, just outside. Becker had a nice year for St. Vincent, hit about .317 in 17 games action. He was only a freshman. Up there playing for Mick Janosko. There's Glasser looking at the runner at second. There's a pitch to Becker outside, so count now 2-0. Glasser trying to work out of a jam. Actually looking for pitcher's best friend to double play here, but would be tough to turn. Becker has good speed. So here's Glasser's 2-0 pitch. Again, up and away. So 3 balls, no strikes. 1 out. 1 run in for Uniontown. And runners at first and second. Caleb Scott waits anxiously on deck for Uniontown. So here's Glasser's 3-0 pitch. Got to imagine Becker's taking all the way, and he is. And Glasser throws a strike that catches the outside corner, so count now 3 balls, 1 strike to right fielder Tyler Becker. Glasser gets the sign. And a 3-1 pitch. Breaking pitch called for a strike. So Becker now facing a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Shearer at second. Courtesy runner C.J. Gesk at first. Here's the payoff pitch. And Becker with a shot right at center fielder Keaton Riley. Riley able to get the ball back in, but Shearer tags, and he's going to advance to third. Becker hit that ball right on the nose, but hit it right at Keaton Riley, who just had to drift back maybe a step or 2 to make that catch. So now with 2 outs, Uniontown with runners on the corners, and left fielder Caleb Scott coming to bat. And Glasser trying to get out of this inning, just allowing 1 run. Caleb Scott, the Penn State Fayette attendee. He played on their baseball team this year, as well as Cole Shearer. There's a pitch to Scott, called for a strike. Third baseman Chad Barrett trying to keep Shearer close over there at third. Infield pretty much straight away. Pretty big gap, though, on the left side if Scott's able to pull that pitch. There's Guest going to take off on the pitch. That ball's hitting the air and drifting back and making a nice play out there is left fielder Andrew Mackey. Actually thought Scott was going to burn him a little bit, but Mackey drifted back and actually made that play look relatively easy. So in the first inning for Uniontown, there was 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. So after 1 inning of play, it's the Uniontown American Legion team 1 and Charleroi American Legion team 0. The South Union Township Sports Network is brought to you by the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and agent David Hughes. United Bank, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law. Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor. Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown. Zebley, Mahaliv & White, Uniontown's business and bankruptcy attorneys, and State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman at 37 West Main Street, Uniontown. Her phone number 724-592-6308. So leading off for Charleroi in the top of the second inning will be first baseman Remington Lessman. He'll be followed by catcher Hunter Mamie. And then Joey Verscharen, the second baseman, will be third in this inning. Braden O'Brien coming out for his second inning of work. comes out with a 1-0 lead. Gave up a hit to Mackey in that first inning, but stranded him at second base on 2 nice plays by Santino Mera at second, retiring Chad Barrett on a dribbler, but then making a beautiful play on Gianni Cantina, cutting a ball off going up the middle and retiring him at first to hold that lead to 1-0 right now. So Shearer playing in on the grass at third. Lessman, the left-hander. First pitch is high. Shearer's going to back up now at third. He's actually playing in on the grass, maybe expecting a bunt to lead off this inning, but Lessman showed no signs of that. There's the 1-0 pitch right down the middle of the plate. Called for a strike. The count now 1-1. We said catcher Hunter Mamie waiting on deck. O'Brien's pitch just a bit high. Count now at 2-1. As we said, O'Brien threw a nice game against Wadensburg last week. Pitch just a bit outside. So now behind in the count, 3-1. Here's the pitch to Lessman. You're going to get called for a strike. So now works the count full. Nobody out. We're in the top of the second. And here's the payoff pitch. Dribbler hit down to Sankovic at short. Makes a low throw, and McLean not able to scoop it out. So Lessman is going to reach on an error. Sankovic made a nice play drifting to his left to keep that ball from going up the middle, but couldn't get the throw over, and McLean unable to scoop it. So now Charleroi with the leadoff batter on. Alex McLean's going to hold Lessman at first. Batting now, Hunter Mamie, the catcher. Pitch from O'Brien inside. Mamie ducking to get out of the way. 1 ball, no strikes. Lessman with a decent lead. And there's a swing and a miss by Mamie, evening the count up now at 1-1. Uniontown leading here in the top of the second inning. 1-0. But Charleroi threatening. There's a pop-up to Sankovic. He makes a nice catch. Beautiful diving catch of that pop by Sankovic. It made a nice play, but actually might have been more beneficial to let that fall. Might have been able to turn a double play. But a nice catch and 1 out. Now Joey Verschaeren, second baseman, batting now with 1 out. O'Brien's pitch called for a strike. So Sankovic getting a workout here so far in the second inning. The first batter, Lessman, hits a ball to him, and now Mamie as well. That's a ball high. So even the count now at 1-1. Lessman at first, being held by Alex McLean. O'Brien with that breaking pitch. Just missed. Got called for a couple strikes on that pitch in the first inning. So now here's O'Brien. That ball's going to be a strike, so now the count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And Lessman at first for Charleroi. Braden takes a peek over. And here's the pitch. Breaking pitch. Just outside. Lessman not advancing on that ball, getting past catcher Brant Bonadillo. Here's a payoff pitch. I'm losing count here, Jerry. I'm doing a bad job.
3 balls.
Uh-huh. And a swing and a miss. So O'Brien able to retire versus Shearer, picking up his first strike out of the game. That's 2 outs now, and that's going to bring up starting pitcher Lorenzo Glasser. So Glasser coming to the plate now with 2 outs, and Remington Lessman still at first after leading off, getting on an error by shortstop Sankovic. First pitch just a bit high. 1 ball, no strikes. O'Brien not working deep in too many counts here today. We're not keeping pitch counts, but it's got to be relatively low here so far. And there's a strike, evening the count up now at 1-1. Lessman led off this inning with an error, got on an error. Hunter Mamie popped out to Sankovic, who made a diving catch. And here's a shot to center field. Braden McKnight makes about 2 steps and an easy catch. So after getting the leadoff runner on, Charleroi unable to advance Lessman any further than first. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 man left on. So after an inning and a half, it's the Uniontown Legion team 1 and the Charleroi Legion team 0. The South Union Township Sports Network is brought to you by State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman at 37 West Main Street. Call her at 724-592-6308. Zebley, Mahalovan and White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys. Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown. Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor. Davis & Davis, Attorneys at Law. United Bank, and the Sproul's Insurance Group in Uniontown, and agent Mr. David Hughes. So we're headed to the bottom of the second inning. Uniontown with a 1-0 lead, and coming to bat for them in the bottom of 2 will be Alex McLean. He'll be followed by Braden O'Brien and then Braden McKnight. So 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Uniontown Legion team here. Glasser in for his second inning of work. Perfect day for baseball. Not too hot, sunny, beautiful conditions. Uniontown is scheduled to play a doubleheader tomorrow against Elizabeth. And they're also scheduled to play Friday night against Bethel Park. And all of those games are at home. This game was moved up to the Laurel Highlands High School due to some maintenance work being done on the field at Hutchinson tonight. So the Laurel Highlands field being put to use tonight. Here's Alex McLean leading off for Uniontown. First pitch is a strike. Glasser jumps ahead in the count. McLean at first today. He caught pretty much all season long for the Mustangs, but seeing action at first base here today. Takes that pitch. Now here's Glasser getting the sign. Here's the delivery. Breaking pitch. McLean way ahead of that one. Nice slow curve there by Glasser to get ahead in the count 1-2. And again tries to go back to the same off-speed pitch, but just missed on the outside. So the count evens up at 2-2. McLean to be followed by starting pitcher Braden O'Brien. 2-2 pitch. There's a pop-up. It's going to get out of play. Fans looking for a souvenir. I think somebody said they lost it in the sun over there, Jer.
Yeah.
So McLean now trying to get something started here for Uniontown. And again, Glasser goes back to that off-speed pitch. count now, if I'm not mistaken, should be full at 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. McLean sends that ball skyward. Drifting in is Keaton Riley. And Riley makes the catch to retire McLean for the first out of the inning. So McLean retired on a fly ball to Riley. Drifted in and made that play look pretty easy. So now it's going to bring up Braden O'Brien, the starting pitcher. And O'Brien, I'm going to have to give a shout out here today. His grandfather, Jim, watching online. I want to thank him for watching. And I was talking to Chris via text earlier today, and he asked if we were going to be live streaming, and I told him I would give his father a shout out. So thanks, Jim, for watching, and I hope you enjoy watching your grandson play. And there's a shot. So O'Brien, right on cue, delivers for his grandfather and gets a base hit. That's the third hit of the game for Uniontown. So O'Brien, I'm sure we're going to see a courtesy runner here. And more than likely, it's going to be C.J. Gesk again. Nope, take it back. It's going to be number 10. That's going to be Pat Kavanagh. So Kavanagh seeing his first action here today. At the plate is Braden McKnight, the center fielder. So O'Brien helping his own cause with a base hit. And there's a pitch just outside to McKnight. McKnight playing center field today. He started at third. I'm sorry, he started at left field the other day for Uniontown. There's a throw over. Kavanagh gets back. Actually, a pretty nice slide there to get the left hand in and avoid the tag. Lessman holding him on. Kavanagh with a decent lead. Glasser getting the sign. McKnight squared around there with a bunt, but actually pulled back, and the pitch was called for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out. And Kavanagh at first. He's able to get back standing up. Glasser trying to keep Kavanagh close. Uniontown has scored a run in the bottom of the first after Mara singled the lead off. Stole second and got over to third on a retirement of Sankovic 1-3, and then Cole Shearer with an RBI single to drive in Mara to pick up the first run for Uniontown. And that's where the lead is right now. McKnight to be followed by the top of the order, Santino Mara. That ball's fouled off by McKnight. Kavanagh is taking off on the pitch. McKnight able to catch a little bit of that pitch with the edge of the bat. So Kavanagh retreats the first, and with 1 out, Uniontown may be trying to play a little hit and run. Glasser glances over, sorry. There's a pitch inside. Kavanaugh's going to get to second base as the ball gets away from catcher Mamie. So no Kavanagh in scoring position with 1 out for Uniontown. Kavanagh getting instructions from third base coach Brad Yeoman. Cantini trying to sneak in behind Kavanagh. There's a dribbler down to first. Lessman, he's going to take it himself and retire McKnight. But on the play, Kavanagh gets to third. So McKnight retired 3 unassisted. Nice play by Lessman and good hustle there by McKnight. Made that play relatively close. So Lessman with a nice play. Wave off his pitcher Glasser to get there by himself. And now with 2 outs, Santino Mara coming up with Kavanagh in scoring position. Mara singled in the first and scored the only run of the game so far. There's an off-speed pitch, misses outside. Count is 1-0. Glasser trying to strand the courtesy runner, Pat Kavanagh, who's in for Braden O'Brien, who got a single after McLean flew out to center fielder Keaton Riley. There's a foul back by Mayer, so that's going to even the count now, 1-1. Uniontown trying to tack on to this one-run lead. As we said, Mayer played for Cal U this year. There's a fly ball to right. Drifting out. Nice play out there by right fielder Ashton Ray. Ray covered a ton of ground to make that catch. Actually caught it right on the foul line. So able to retire Santino Mera and strand Pat Kavanagh, the courtesy runner at third base. So in that inning for Uniontown, there were no runs, one hit, there were no errors, and one man left on base. So after two complete, it's the Uniontown American Legion team 1, the Charleroi American Legion team nothing. The South Union Township Sports Network is brought to you by Zebley, Mahalev, and White, the Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys, United Bank, Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor, the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and Agent David Hughes, and State Farm Agent Lauren Yeoman, who can be found at 37 West Main Street in Uniontown. Phone her at 724-592-6308. Leading off for Charleroi will be extra hitter Colton Polander. He'll be followed by the top of the order, Keaton Riley and Andrew McKay. There's McLean trying to loosen up O'Brien. O'Brien's only given up one hit so far. Stranded two runners in the first two innings. So here's Colton Polander batting for right fielder Ashton Ray, who just made a beautiful catch out there in right field to rob Santino Mera of extra bases. First pitch is a ball outside. Polander had to duck out of the way of that one. O'Brien looks back to his first base, McLean, and kind of smiles. I'm sure he didn't want to throw that ball that high and inside. There's a swing and a miss. And here's the pitch from O'Brien. There's a pop fly. Drifting over is McKnight. McKnight makes the catch. So Polander retired on the fly ball to McKnight. McKnight's been busy out there so far today. A couple of plays. Fielded Mackey's hit in the first inning. So now Keaton Riley. Riley flew out to right fielder Tyler Becker to lead this game off. There's a dribbler down to third. Ooh, almost came back fair. Riley didn't run on that, but wow, the spin on that ball, it almost came back fair. Shearer kind of looking at the third base coach over there saying, wait a minute, we almost had an easy play. But the count 0-1. There's a breaking pitch and kind of buckled Riley. And O'Brien has relied on that breaking pitch a lot so far today, and it's worked out well for him. He's pitching a nice game. And again, back to the breaking pitch, and that just misses. So now the count now, 2 balls, 1 strike. There's 1 out. We're in the top of the third inning. Charleroi looking to get on the board. They trail Uniontown 1-0. There's a foul back. There's a pitch. Hits him right off the helmet. Not exactly sure how that happened. I guess Polander's the extra hitter, so maybe they're batting 10. I thought he was actually batting in place of Ray. So it looks like Polander now at first after being hit by a pitch. So that's going to bring up Riley, and Riley, first pitch is a strike. Not exactly sure what happened there. I actually thought that the last batter was number 12, Lorenzo Glasser, and if that's the case, he had flown out to center field the last time up. But this brings up Keaton Riley. Riley, as we said, flew out to right fielder Tyler Becker his first time up. So now Polander at first. One down. There's a pitch to Riley just on the inside. Andrew Mackey waiting on deck. O'Brien checks the runner. McLean holding him at first. And there's a ball hit to short. Sankovic's going to try to make the play, but can't do it. Polander showed great speed. So Riley reaches first on the fielder's choice. So now with one out, that's going to bring up Mackey, who singled in the first and was stranded at second base in that first inning. Cole Shearer talking to Braden O'Brien, trying to figure out if he's going to play in on the grass and look for the bunt. There's a pitch to Mackey. Ball outside. So Polander at second. Riley at first. The pitch going to be called for a strike, so count evens up now at 1-1. One out. And we're in the top of the third inning. And a couple ducks on the pond for Charleroi. There's a pop-up to Shearer. He's going to be able to make the catch. Ball stays in play, so Mackey unable to advance the runners as he pops out to Cole Shearer at third. So now with two outs, that's going to bring up third baseman Chad Barrett. Barrett grounded out to Santino Mera, his first time up. Gianni Cantini waiting on deck. So now with two outs, O'Brien trying to get out of this little jam. Here's a pitch. Misses on the inside, so 1 ball, no strikes. Runners at first and second for Charleroi. And there's a shot right at Sankovic. So Barrett hits the ball on the nose, but right at Tyler Sankovic. It's short. So Charleroi going to get out of this inning with no runs on no hits. There was no errors and 2 men left on base. So after 2.5, it's Uniontown 1 and Charleroi nothing. South Union Township Sports Network is brought to you by the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and agent David Hughes, United Bank, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor, Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, and SWGI in Uniontown, Zebly Mahalav and White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys, and State Farm Agent Lauren Yeoman. So as we head to the bottom of the third inning, it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Uniontown. Tyler Sankovic, Cole Shearer, and Brant Bonadio coming to bat for Uniontown. Lorenzo Glasser out there for his third inning of work, to start his third inning of work. Sankovic coming to bat. Sank grounded out to pitcher Glasser his first time up. Legion Region 6 this year is made up of 10 teams in 2 separate divisions. Charleroi coming back into play after about a 7-year absence. They're in the same division as Belle Vernon, Smithfield, Carmichaels, and Waynesburg. On the other side,
Rounding out this 10-team region is Elizabeth, South Allegheny, Baldwin, Bethel Park, and Uniontown. Each team scheduled to play their division opponents twice and the other teams in the opposite division once. So here's Glasser's pitch to Sankovic, a swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch got Sankovic way ahead of that pitch. Sankovic to be followed by Cole Shearer. Here's Glasser's 0-1 pitch. Ball down. Hunter Mamie behind the dish so far today for Charleroi, doing a great job back there. So here's Glasser's 1-1 pitch. And there's a shot. Getting over is Riley, and Riley covers a lot of ground. A fine-looking center fielder. So Riley, with his third put out of the game, first in this third inning. Sankovic gave that ball a ride, but Riley showing a lot of speed and actually made that play look really easy. So a nice-looking center fielder out there for Charleroi. Excuse me, and this brings up Cole Shearer. Shearer singled in a run, driving in Santino Mara in the bottom of the first inning in his first at-bat. Takes that pitch for a strike. Shearer hit a shot down the right field line here where Lessman was able to get a glove on it but not able to retire Shearer, and Mara was able to score easily. There's a pop-up. Glasser going to call it? No. Yeah, he's going to call it. The cardinal rule is that pitcher never catch a fly ball, but I never could understand that, and that was a much easier play for him than Hunter Mamie to get out of the box and try to make that play. So Shearer is going to be retired on a pop-out to the pitcher. Now that brings up Brant Bonadillo. Bonadillo was hit by a pitch in the first inning. I'm waiting on deck. Tyler Becker. There's a pop-up being called for by, again, center fielder Keaton Riley. So Riley with 2 of the 3 outs in this inning. And Uniontown goes 1-2-3 in the bottom of the third. So no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. So after 3 complete, it's the Uniontown American Legion team 1. The Charleroi American Legion team, nothing. The South Union Township Sports Network is brought to you by State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman, Zebley Mahalovan and White Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys, Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist SWGI in Uniontown, Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, United Bank, and the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and agent David Hughes. So we're headed to the top of the 4th inning. Leading off for Charleroi will be cleanup hitter Gianni Cantini. He'll be followed by Remington Lessman and Hunter Mamie as the first 3 scheduled batters here for Charleroi in this 4th inning. Braden O'Brien still out on the mound for Uniontown, doing a great job. Has only given up 1 hit and has actually stranded 4 runners in the first 3 innings of play. Uniontown trying to pick up their 2nd win of the year. It's going to be a busy week of baseball for them, as we said. They got rained out Monday night. They were scheduled to play Baldwin. Playing tonight, scheduled for a doubleheader tomorrow with Elizabeth, and scheduled to play Bethel Park on Friday night. So here's the pitch, up and in. Cantini was retired on a beautiful play by Santino Mara in that first inning to end the first. Drifted well to his right, made a strong throw to get Cantini by maybe a step at first. And he's going to try him again. Mara, ground ball, and a shot over to Alex McLean. So Cantini, for the 2nd time, is retired 4-3.
And that's going to bring up Remington Lessman. Lessman reached on an error in that first inning and was stranded at first base. I'm sorry, in the second inning, his first time up. So with one out, Lessman, the first baseman, coming to bat. There's O'Brien's pitch called for a strike. O'Brien getting ahead of the hitters. Has yet to walk a batter. Has hit one batter and also struck out one batter. Going back to that breaking pitch. That pitch just misses, so the count evens up at 1-1. One out, we're in the top of the fourth. Nice pitch there by O'Brien to get Lessman swinging and missing. So to count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hunter Mamie waiting anxiously on deck. And a swing and a miss. So O'Brien retires Lessman swinging. That's his second strikeout of the game. The second out of the fourth inning, and that's going to bring up Hunter Mamie. Mamie was retired on a pop-out on a nice play by Sankovic in the second. Sankovic made a diving catch on the grass. First pitch from O'Brien's a ball. So 2 outs. We're in the fourth. Joey Verscheren waiting on deck. Here's O'Brien's 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss by Mamie. So the count evens up now at 1-1. O'Brien working from the stretch, does not wind up. And here's his 1-1 pitch. Being called for a strike, so now gets ahead of the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. O'Brien didn't see much action in high school this year, only threw in 1 game. But has started both of these games so far for the Legion team. And as we said, picked up the win in the first game of the year against Waynesburg in a 12-2 win. And now looking to pick up his second. And that pitch is high. So O'Brien working on a 1-hitter here so far. We're in the fourth inning. There's a pop-up. McLean's going to call it and corral that easily. So Hunter Mamie going to be retired on a pop-out to first baseman Alex McLean. So Charleroi goes out 1-2-3 in the top of the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. So after 3.5, it's the Uniontown American Legion team 1. The Charleroi American Legion team nothing. The South Union Township Sports Network is brought to you by Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and agent David Hughes. United Bank, Davis & Davis, attorneys at law. Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor. Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown. Zebley, Mahalovan White, Uniontown's business and bankruptcy attorneys, and State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman. So coming back to action, we're in the bottom of the fourth inning. For Uniontown, it's going to be Tyler Becker. He'll be followed by Caleb Scott and Alex McLean. Becker flew out to center fielder Keaton Riley in his first at bat. As we said, Riley's been extremely busy out there. He's got 4 putouts so far in this game. He's playing a very nice center field. Nice to watch. Just glides toward the ball. A nice-looking player for Charleroi. Not real sure what class he's in, but I'm sure they'll be happy to have him back next year if he is an underclassman. And the age for Legion, 19. So you do see some seniors in high school as well as some freshmen in college. There's a couple freshmen on this team that are attending college now. Cole Shearer and Caleb Scott out at Penn State Fayette. Santino Mara attending California. And Tyler Becker
attending St. Vincent. So now here's Glasser to Becker. The first pitch down in the dirt, ball one. Becker was ahead in the count the last time, 3-0. Glasser able to work back, and on a full count pitch, able to retire Becker on a fly ball to center field. There's a nice breaking pitch there by Glasser. Evens the count up at 1-1. Glasser with the sign. And again, catches the outside corner. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tyler Becker in the hole. Caleb Scott waiting on deck. The only run of the game. Santino Mara scored in the first inning for Uniontown. After that, all goose egg so far for both teams. And again, Becker dribbles one down the first baseline. Nice play there by Lessman, but the ball goes foul. So the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. So here's Glasser's 1-2 pitch. Becker takes that pitch extremely close. Great eye by Becker. Evens the count at 2-2. That pitch didn't miss by much. You heard a couple groans from the Charleroi faithful. So 2-2, nobody out here. Bottom 4. Becker's going to fall that one back. Over top the concession stand down the left field line. Count remains at 2-2. And Becker sits on that one, and Riley again. Keaton Riley, maybe the busiest center fielder in baseball today, has recorded 3 of the last 4 outs. And now with 1 out, it's going to bring up Caleb Scott. Caleb Scott flew out to left fielder Andrew Mackey, who also made a nice play his last time up. So with 1 out, left fielder Caleb Scott, and his first pitch just a bit high. As we said, Keaton Riley now with 5 putouts so far in this game. And we're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Breaking pitch just missed. So Scott ahead in the count now, 2-0. Uniontown with a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the 4th inning. Pitch misses on the outside. Count now at 3-0. Glasser also has not walked a batter so far here this game. He did hit Bonadio his first time up, but is yet to issue a free pass. Scott taking all the way. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Alex McLean waiting on deck. Here's the 3-1 pitch, breaking pitch. And now that's the first walk of the game. Puts Uniontown with a runner at first and 1 out. And Alex McLean coming to bat. McLean flew out the first time he was at bat to center fielder Riley. You can pretty much say that about everybody in this lineup so far. Scott with a big lead. Lessman holding him on. Glasser just going to flip one over there. Trying to keep Scott close. Scott probably with about a 6-step lead. Glasser going to look back over. And here's a pitch going to be called for a strike. So McLean looking to get Scott in scoring position or possibly even drive him in. Glasser going to give a little better move there to get Scott back. First one was kind of just a token throw, but that one with a little more liveliness in it. Scott able to dive back. So the 0-1 pitch. There's a shot to second. Caught on a fly. Double up. No. Nice play there by second baseman Shearer, but not a good throw. He could have doubled off Caleb Scott, but the throw was in the dirt. So Scott will remain at first. I think Scott actually thought that ball was going to drop in, but nice play by Shearer. And a good throw would have ended the inning, but instead it's going to bring up starting pitcher Braden O'Brien. O'Brien singled his first time up. Takes that first pitch for a strike. Caleb Scott at first. Uniontown leading 1-0. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. And Lorenzo Glasser trying to get out of this inning. Nice pitch on the inside corner there. O'Brien flinched a little bit, and the ball was called for a strike. So now, no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As we said, O'Brien singled his first time up. One of the 3 hits so far for Uniontown here tonight. Fouls that one back as Caleb Scott took off on the pitch. So he'll have to retreat back to first. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Braden O'Brien at bat. Braden McKnight waiting anxiously on deck. Scott still with a big lead. And O'Brien fouls another one back. So fighting it off with an 0-2 count. Scott got on a walk and hasn't been able to advance yet for Uniontown. Braden O'Brien trying to help himself out here. No balls, 2 strikes, and he's fouled off the last 2 pitches. And here's Glasser's pitch. No, it's going to call timeout. So O'Brien calling timeout. Brad Yeoman flashing the signals. Would not be surprised to see Caleb Scott take off here. Glasser checks the runner. And there's a shot down to third. Nice play. Looks over at second. Is going to have to go to first. And a nice-looking play there by Chad Barron. Barron thought he had a play at second, but Scott was running on the pitch. So he throws over to first, and he's able to retire Braden O'Brien. So in the 4th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base for Uniontown. So after 4 complete, we've got a good one. It's the Uniontown American Legion team 1. Charleroi American Legion team 0. The South Union Township Sports Network is brought to you by State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman, Zebley, Mahaloff & White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys, Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown, Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor, Davis & Davis, Attorneys at Law, United Bank, and the Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown and Agent David Hughes. So in the top of the 5th inning, O'Brien will face Shearer, Lorenzo Glasser, and I am guessing Ashton Ray. Actually thought Polander was an extra hitter for Ray, but let's see how this pans out. I do have numbers. Maybe I can correct myself. For Shearer was the first strikeout victim, his first time up. Struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. And O'Brien, as we said, trying to pick up his 2nd win in this relatively young Legion season. He's started both games for Uniontown. Uniontown missing one of their stars, Nick Kumar, who's been out with a groin injury. That's a big loss of bat and pitching as well for Uniontown, but hopefully Nick can bounce back and be ready to go here within the next week or so. So here's Shearer, the second baseman, coming up. First pitch is swing and a miss for Shearer. I think he was looking for that off-speed pitch, and O'Brien with a fastball down in the dirt, and Shearer chased. Another fastball just misses. O'Brien, I think he wanted to get that call. It was a pretty good-looking pitch from here. We don't have the best angle. We're pretty close to first base here, but looked like a pretty nice pitch. And he's going to go back to the fastball, and it's going to be a dribbler down to Sankovic at short. Flips it over to McLean, and McLean able to make the catch and get Shearer out. So Shearer retired 6-3, and that's going to bring up starting pitcher Lorenzo Glasser. And Glasser's done a nice job as well for Charleroi. He's stranded 4 runners so far in 4 innings of work, as well as O'Brien. Both Charleroi and Uniontown stranding 4 runners in the first 4 innings. As we said, only 1 run scored by either team. Glasser flew out to center fielder Braden McKnight, his first time up. There's O'Brien's pitch, and he's going to hit him. So Glasser is going to reach base via the hit by pitch. So that's the second hit batsman. Polander was hit in the 3rd inning. And that's going to put, I don't understand this one. Now this is Glasser coming to bat. I'm sorry, that was Ashton Ray. I'm not sure how we're doing this here, but there's a shot down to short. Flips over to Merritt second. Tries to make the turn, but not in time. So Ray is going to be forced 6-4. And Glasser is going to reach on the fielder's choice. So now with 2 outs, Polander coming to bat. Yeah, the lineup card for here shows for Sharon, Glasser, Ashton Ray, and then Polander. Now here's Polander going to dribble it down to Cole Shearer at third. Shearer with a nice play. Polander's going to be retired 5-3. So in the 5th, no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on after 4.5. It's Uniontown 1. Charleroi, nothing. Welcome back to the South Union Township Sports Network with some changes made defensively for Charleroi. We're going to try to get the changes here. It looks like Ethan Hadsell is going to be at third. First baseman now is Kenny Weaver. Lorenzo Glasser still on the mound. And there's his first pitch to leadoff hitter Braden McKnight. McKnight will be followed by the top of the order, Santino Mera and Tyler Sankovic. Trying to see if any other changes were made. We weren't notified, but we'll see what we can do. There's a shot by McKnight, but it's going to go foul. So Kenny Weaver. Let's see, second base now is Barrett. Looks like Hadsel at third. There's a shot to second base. Barron, after switching over there from third base, able to make a nice play, and he's able to retire McKnight 4-3. So let's see if we can set the defense. I'm trying to look for some numbers here. As we mentioned, Kenny Weaver is now at first. Barrett moves from third to second. Ethan Hadsel checking in at third base. Shortstop remains Cantini, and not sure if any outfield changes or not. And there's a shot straight up. And if there's not a change, that's going to be Riley, and that is. So Santino Mera flies out to Riley. I can tell you that change wasn't made. Riley now with his 7th put out of the game. And that's going to bring up Tyler Sankovic. So Riley remains in center. Alex Mackey still in left field. We can't tell. Don't know if that's Ashton Ray out and right, but we'll try to check that as they go in between innings. So here's Sankovic. Sankovic 0 for 2, ground out to the pitcher his first time up, and flew out to none other than Keaton Riley in center his last time up. Can't tell you I've ever seen this many plays made by a center fielder in a game. But he's played extremely well defensively out there for Charleroi. There's Glasser's pitch. Knocked down at third. Hadsel makes the play. Gets him by half a step. Beautiful play by Hadsel to stay with that ball and retire Sankovic 5-3. So for the second time in this game, Uniontown goes down 1-2-3. So no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. After 5 complete, Uniontown 1. Charleroi nothing. South Union Township Sports Network is brought to you by the Sproul's Insurance Group in Uniontown and Agent David Hughes. United Bank, Davis & Davis, attorneys at law. Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor. Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown. Zebley Mahal in White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys. And State Farm Agent Lauren Yeoman. So Braden O'Brien coming out for inning number 6. And O'Brien so far has only given up 1 hit. He's stranded 5 runners in the first 5 innings of work. Has recorded 2 strikeouts, has 2 hit by pitches, no walks. And so far so good for Uniontown. It's throwing a beautiful game. So leading off for Charleroi will be center fielder and their defensive star, Keaton Riley. He'll be followed by Andrew Mackey and Chad Barrett in the 3 spot. So Riley 0 for 2, flew out to right fielder Tyler Becker his first time up and grounded into a fielder's choice his last time at bat. Tries to drop a bunt down and misses, so called for a strike. So O'Brien ahead in the count, 0-1. There's a foul back, so O'Brien quickly ahead, 0-2. We're in the 6th inning of play. Uniontown with a 1-run lead. That was scored in the first inning, and since then, both teams struggling to put any offense together. There's a shot. It's going to fall in. Mara shows a lot of range. Beautiful play there by Santino Mara. Wasn't sure if that ball was going to fall in or not, but Mara covered a lot of ground to get to that ball and record the first out of the inning. So Riley recorded fly out to second base. That's going to bring up Andrew Mackey. Mackey with the only hit of the game for Charleroi so far. That was in the first inning, and he was stranded at second base. He also popped out to Cole Shearer the second time up. That pitch a bit high by O'Brien. So Mackey ahead in the count, 1-0. 1 out. We're in the sixth. There's a ball that just misses on the outside. So Mackey ahead in the count now, 2-0. Infield at regular depth. 2-1 pitch now, 3-0. That very well could be the first 3-0 count that O'Brien's faced all day. So he said he's yet to walk a batter, has hit 2 batters, but has not issued a free pass until now. So Mackey reaches base for the second time tonight. And that's going to bring up now second baseman Chad Barrett. Barrett grounding out to Santino Mara at second the first time up, and then hit a line shot. And there's a drop-down bunt, and that ball's going to go foul. Barrett trying to advance runner Mackey over to second base with 1 out. McLean holding the runner on. Yeah, Barron hit the last one right on the nose, but it was right at Sankovic. And that was an inning where Charleroi stranded 2 runners. O'Brien got to flip one over to keep Mackey close, but he was back safely, no problem. So Braden gets a sign. And there's a shot. It's going to get past third baseman Cole Shearer. So now all of a sudden Charleroi with their second hit of the game. Chad Barrett. And now 2 runners on. Brings up cleanup hitter Gianni Cantini in 2 plate appearances, grounded out to Santino Mara both times. So Coach Brad Yeoman's going to take a timeout and bring his defense in, figure out what to do. Charleroi now with 2 runners on and only 1 out. So meeting at the mound. Home plate umpire is going to come out and break this up, but trying to figure out defensively what they're going to do. Uniontown now, for the first time, really feeling any threat. They did strand 2 runners in the 3rd inning. Brad Yeoman still talking to O'Brien on his way off the field. Trying to tell him to keep every pitch down. Try to get a ground ball here. He's looking for the pitcher's best friend to double play. So here's the first pitch to Cantini. Cantini's going to hit a dribbler to second. He's going to try to tag Mara. Out and out. Double play. Beautiful play by Santino Mara. Cantini hits the ball to Mara, who tags the runner, Barrett, as he's going to second base. He'll be retired 4 unassisted. And then he throws a shot over to get Cantini for the 3rd time this game. So in that inning, there's still no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. So after 5.5, it's Uniontown 1 and Charleroi nothing. South Union Township Sports Network is brought to you by State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman, Zebley, Mahal and White, Uniontown Business and Bankruptcy Attorneys, Southwest Gastrointestinal Specialist, SWGI in Uniontown, Jason Scott, South Union Township Supervisor, Davis & Davis, Attorneys at Law, United Bank, and the Sprouse Insurance Group, and Agent David Hughes. So Glasser coming back out for inning number 6. Tough luck there, Cantini hit a shot down the mirror, but he was able to glove it, make the tag on Barron, who was running to second, and then throw a pill over to McLean at first to retire Cantini for the double play to get Uniontown out of that inning. Mara's made some beautiful defensive plays as well here today for Uniontown. Made a couple nice plays in that first inning, especially on Cantini in his first at bat, robbing him of a hit up the middle. And then even in that last inning, ranged far to his left to catch a pop-up by Riley that I actually thought might fall in, but Mara covered a lot of ground. So now leading off the bottom of the 6th for Uniontown will be Cole Shearer. He'll be followed by Brant Bonadillo and Tyler Becker. Shearer with the only RBI in this game. One of 3 hits for Uniontown. He drove in Mara in that first inning and was retired on a pop-out to Glasser, his last at-bat in the 3rd. So here's Glasser's first pitch of the 6th. There's another pop, and is that going to fall? Right fielder, number 9. That's Zane Mahoney. Mahoney with the catch, called it off and made a beautiful diving catch. So now we know who's playing right field. That's Zane Mahoney out there. So he makes the first out of the inning and retires Cole Shearer. It's going to bring up Brant Bonadillo. Bonadillo 0 for 1. He flew out to Riley and also was hit by a pitch. Ball down in the dirt. Uniontown, after scoring 12 runs against Waynesburg, struggling to put anything on the board here today. Lorenzo Glasser doing a beautiful job for Charleroi in the mound. That breaking pitch called for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitcher's duel between Glasser and Braden O'Brien, and we're seeing a good one. Glasser getting a sign, and here's the 1-1 pitch. Again, another breaking pitch had Bonadillo turning away. So now ahead in the count 1-2 with 1 out. And here's a 1-2 pitch. And there's a shot. Gloved beautifully. Cantini making a beautiful play at short to rob Brant Bonadillo. So a line out to shortstop Cantini, and a beautiful play there. So now all of a sudden 2 quick outs, and that's going to bring up Tyler Becker. Becker flew out to Keaton Riley in center field both times up. That pitch catches the outside corner. Glasser struggled just a bit in that first inning, but was able to get out of it, only giving up 1 run. And has goose egg Uniontown ever since. And there's a shot. Riley's not going to be able to get to that one. That's going to get in the gap and roll all the way to the fence. Becker looking to whether he should go 3 or not. He's going to be held up, but the first extra base hit of the game goes to Tyler Becker. So Becker now puts another runner in scoring position for Uniontown, only the 4th hit for Uniontown. And that's going to bring up Caleb Scott. Scott has flown out to left fielder Andrew Mackey on a beautiful play and also reached base on a base on balls. So now Tyler Becker with 2 outs. Trying to score to give Uniontown a 2-run cushion. Here comes the first pitch to Scott. Pitch just inside. Becker with a great secondary lead. Excuse me. Second baseman Barron tried to keep Becker close, but opening up a big hole on the right side. There's a breaking pitch that's going to be held back, and Scott's going to get a single. Becker's going to try to score, and there's going to be a play at the plate. It was cut off by third baseman Hadsel, and Becker's going to score easily. So an RBI single by Caleb Scott gives Uniontown a 2-0 lead. So back-to-back hits for the first time in this game for Uniontown. And now Tyler Becker able to score. Jason Scott advances to second on the throw. And Alex McLean coming up. McLean 0 for 2. Popped out to second base and also flew out to center field. And there's a shot. McLean got a hold of that one. That ball is going to be caught out there by Mackey. So Mackey thought that ball was hit but just didn't carry. So in that inning, Uniontown scores 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors. 1 man left on base. So after 6 complete, it's the Uniontown American Legion team 2, the Charleroi American Legion team 0. Welcome back to the South Union Township Sports Network. We're going to the top of the 7th inning, where Uniontown's clinging to a 2-0 lead. Leading off for Charleroi in the top of the 7th will be Kenny Weaver, who came in the 5th inning to replace Remington Lessman at first. So it's Kenny Weaver to be followed by Hunter Mamie. We're going to have to see who's batting in Joey Verscharen's place. I'm going to guess it may be Zane Mahoney who checked in, but we'll figure this out here as we go. We weren't notified of any changes, but obviously Verscharen was pulled when they put Barron on second base. So now O'Brien. Great effort again for Uniontown here tonight. We were kind of wondering, too, what kind of pitching Uniontown would have. And actually questioning as well what kind of pitching Laurel Highlands would have next year. But obviously, Braden O'Brien's going to be a threat against anybody for the Mustangs next year. Done a great job in the first 2 games for Uniontown. Twirling a gem right here, right now. Has yet to give up a run. Has given up 2 runs in 12 innings of action so far here this year. So here's Kenny Weaver in his first plate appearance. And here's a pitch from O'Brien. Weaver with a pop-up. Shearer's he's called off by Sankovic. So Kenny Weaver, first pitch pop-out to shortstop Sankovic. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Coach Brad Yeoman not too disappointed in that. Trying to keep the pitch count down for O'Brien, and Weaver assisted him there. So here's Hunter Mamie. And Mamie with a shot. Is it going to stay fair? Foul ball. Mamie has popped out twice, once to Cole Shearer at third, and once to first baseman Alex McLean. So Mamie 0 for 2. As we said, Charleroi only 2 hits so far here tonight, one by Mackey in the first, and one by Barron in the 6th. But he was retired on a beautiful double play. And here's a dribbler down. Nope, it's going to go foul. So, again, no balls, 2 strikes. And O'Brien's only thrown 3 pitches so far this inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Breaking pitch just missed on the outside. Good waste pitch there by Braden. Mamie was reaching a little bit, but decided to hold off. So now the count 1-2. And gets him swinging. So Braden O'Brien records his third strikeout of the game. And the second out of the 7th inning. We're going to have to try to get a number up. This looks like it's going to be Hadsel. So Ethan Hadsel, number 44, coming into bat. His first at bat, and he's going to swing there and foul that one back. So Hadsel, who checked in for Shearer, also in the 5th inning. So Shearer was 0 for 2. Now Hadsel, 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a shot up the middle. It's going to get in for a base hit. So Hadsel off the bench picks up the 3rd hit of the evening for Charleroi. They've all been singles. So Hadsel keeps the inning alive. So with 2 outs, that's going to bring up starting pitcher Lorenzo Glasser. Sorry, this is going to be number 9. I don't know how they're doing this to me. This is Zane Mahoney. So Mahoney batting now for his first plate appearance of the game. Might have to get you to show a picture of this scorecard, Jerry, just to show that I'm not delusional here. It's a swing and a miss, 1 ball, 2 strikes. My scorecard that I was given by Charleroi shows Glasser in the 8th spot and Ray and Polander in the 9th. But it's kind of flip-flopping around. And there's a strike. So Mahoney's going to get caught looking. And O'Brien picks up his 2nd strikeout of the inning, 4th of the game. But more importantly, ends the inning. So in that inning, there were no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. After 6.5, Uniontown, and that's going to do it. Wasn't sure if we were going to play 9 or 7. So that's going to end the game. So Uniontown picks up a 2-0 win. Braden O'Brien picks up his 2nd win of the year. And we'll recap some numbers quickly. For the Uniontown Legion team, they scored 2 runs on 5 hits. They committed 1 error, and they left 5 men on base. Winning pitcher is going to be Braden O'Brien. Hits today for Uniontown was a single by Santino Mera and Cole Shearer. Braden O'Brien also had a single. Caleb Scott had a single, and Tyler Becker had the only extra base hit of the game, a double, which was in the 6th inning in which he scored. For Charleroi, no runs on 3 hits. They committed no errors, and they left 7 men on base. Losing pitcher for them is going to be Lorenzo Glasser, and Glasser has nothing to be disappointed about. He threw a beauty as well. Braden O'Brien threw a gem for Uniontown, but Glasser with a beautiful game. 4 hits for Charleroi. Mackey had 1, Chad Barrett had 1, and Hadsel had 1 in that last inning. So only 3 hits for Charleroi. Let's give you some numbers here for Braden O'Brien. As we said, he gave up no runs on 3 hits. He had 4 strikeouts in the game, no walks, but he did hit 2 batters. For Glasser, he throws a complete game as well. As we said, he gave up 2 runs on 5 hits. He had 1 hit batter and 1 base on balls, did not record a strikeout in that game. So oddly enough, the Uniontown Legion team not with a strikeout in that game at all. Both RBIs in this game, 1 goes to Cole Shearer and 1 goes to Caleb Scott. So that'll wrap it up for tonight. So Uniontown American Legion with a 2-0 win. Tonight's game was brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, Gary Smith and his staff. I'm Tony Hanola with Jerry Dupay, and this has been a South Union Township Sports Network presentation.